Every time you speak to a woman, something invisible is happening. She's not just listening to your words, she's sensing your energy, weighing your presence, silently judging if you are someone who leads or someone who follows. She won't say it aloud, but in her mind, she is constantly asking, does this man move with certainty? Or is he waiting to be told who he is? And most men fail this test before they even realize they are taking it. They approach with smiles they don't mean, voices that rush, and eyes searching for approval. They try to say what sounds right. They try to be agreeable, safe, soft. But here's the truth. Being safe is forgettable. Women do not remember the men who spoke politely. They remember the men who shifted the air around them. And you will never shift the air if you speak like you are hoping to be liked. Because the moment she senses that you want something from her, validation, acceptance, permission, she stops feeling pulled toward you. Instead, she starts managing you like she manages every other man. If that's been your experience, if women smile, nod, and forget you, then what you need isn't more charm. It's more gravity, and that's what this is about. It's not about tricks or lines. It's about becoming the kind of man whose words feel like anchors, not feathers. The kind of man who speaks so deliberately that silence follows him out of the room. The kind of man who leaves her wondering, long after you've gone, who was that? If you want that power, if you want to speak so she can't stop thinking about you, then listen closely. Because when you talk like this, she will never let go. Before we continue, take a second and subscribe. Because what you're about to learn isn't just about women. It's about mastering presence. And presence is what makes you unforgettable. Why most men fail quietly. Modern women are drowning in attention. Compliments, messages, jokes, endless surface-level chatter. Every man is trying to get noticed, trying to be charming, trying to stand out. And yet, most of it slides off them like rain on glass. Not because women are cold, but because almost everything they hear has no weight. Most men sound like they are begging to be included. They talk fast. They share too much. They bend themselves to keep her comfortable. And while they think they're showing care, what they're really showing is emptiness. She can feel it. She might smile, she might laugh, she might even talk to you for an hour, but the second you leave, she won't remember your name. Because nothing you said moved her. Understand this. Women are not captured by logic. They are captured by emotion, by tension, by the slow burn of curiosity that grows every time you withhold just enough to make her wonder what's underneath. Most men talk to be understood. The rare man, the man she obsesses over, talks to be felt. 500 years ago, Machiavelli wrote about power, about how a single person could command the loyalty, fear, and admiration of everyone around him. And what he discovered is timeless. People submit to those who carry themselves as if they need nothing. They follow the ones who shape the frame, not the ones reacting to it. They respect those who speak rarely, but whose words land like stones dropped in still water. This is exactly what modern women secretly crave. Not louder men, not faster talkers, but a man who seems untouched by the chaos around him. A man who can sit in silence without flinching. A man who doesn't chase their attention, because he already knows he is worthy of it. Machiavelli understood something most men never will. Power isn't about noise. It's about stillness. The one who speaks least but moves with absolute certainty becomes the center of the room. And in the presence of that kind of man, women can't help but lean closer. Because he feels like solid ground in a world full of shifting sand. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you 7 Machiavellian communication that will change the way women respond to you forever. These aren't pick-up tricks. They're not lines to memorize. They are deep psychological habits that make your presence magnetic. Once you internalize them, you won't have to try to impress anyone. You won't have to talk more, explain more, or prove yourself. Because she won't be listening to your words anymore. She'll be feeling your gravity. And when a woman feels that, she will never let go. Let's begin. Speak like a mystery, not a manual. Most men talk like they're reading from a manual. Question, answer, fact, opinion, story, smile, repeat. It's predictable, it's clean, it's safe, and it kills attraction, because safe is the opposite of intriguing. Safe doesn't spark tension. Safe doesn't make her wonder what you're holding back. A Machiavellian man speaks like he has nothing to prove and everything to protect. He chooses his words slowly, like they cost him something. He doesn't rush to fill every gap. He lets space hang between sentences, as if silence itself is part of what he's saying. When she asks a question, he doesn't give her the whole truth at once. He gives her enough to stir her curiosity, not enough to satisfy it. That's what most men never understand. Mystery is more powerful than clarity. The more you explain, the less she imagines. And imagination is where desire lives. So stop trying to be fully understood. Start trying to be wondered about. Talk in fragments. Hint at stories. Offer glimpses, not confessions. And as you do, watch how her body language shifts, her shoulders angle toward you, her eyes linger, her breath slows. She is no longer listening like she's processing information. She's listening like she's decoding a puzzle. Because when you speak like a mystery, you stop being a guy in her mind and become a riddle she needs to solve. But men think the goal of conversation is to entertain her in the moment. They want her to laugh, smile, nod, and say, "You're so funny," before the moment ends. And yes, she might laugh, but here's the harsh truth: laughter fades fast. The second you walk away, it dissolves. What remains is silence, and in that silence, most men vanish. A Machiavellian man plays a different game entirely. He isn't trying to win her attention for 5 minutes. He's trying to claim space in her mind for days. He does this by planting emotional anchors, short, vivid, unexpected lines or ideas that stick like burrs in her thoughts. While other men try to impress her with volume, he speaks sparsely but leaves her with something that echoes. Here's the psychology behind it. The human brain remembers what disrupts its pattern. Anything ordinary gets filtered out. Anything slightly strange, slightly provocative, slightly poetic, the mind can't let go of. This is what women remember. Not who told the longest story. Who left the deepest impression. Imagine this. She tells you she's always in control at work, always the one managing people. Most men would say, "Wow, that must be hard," or, "You sound very responsible." Forgettable. You, instead, pause, smile faintly, and say, "It must be exhausting always being the sun everyone orbits." And then you change the subject. You didn't flatter her, you didn't debate, you simply gave her a frame she's never heard before, one that bends how she sees herself. That sentence will echo while she brushes her teeth, while she lies in bed, while she wonders why she can't stop thinking about you. This is how emotional anchors work. They don't try to dominate the moment. They haunt the moments after. Machiavelli would call this shaping perception. He taught that power is not about what people see while you are present, but how they think about you when you are gone. Most men are terrified of being forgotten, so they flood her with words. But the man who speaks like he knows he'll be remembered becomes unforgettable. So how do you build this habit? Slow down, say less, remove all the filler, and when you do speak, speak in images and contrasts. Instead of, "You're confident," say, "You walk like someone who's never been told no." Instead of, "You're beautiful," say, There's danger behind your calm. I like that. Then walk away from your own words. Don't cling to them. Don't explain them. Don't check if she liked them. Let them float in the space between you. Because the moment she starts replaying your words inside her head, you stopped being just a man in her environment and started becoming a voice inside her mind. This is the difference between attraction and obsession. Attraction happens when she likes what she hears. Obsession begins when she can't stop hearing it even after you're gone. So speak less. Speak with weight. Speak like you're dropping anchors in her ocean. And when she feels them pulling at her thoughts, she won't even understand why, only that she needs to come back to you to feel that pull again. Control the frame by redirection. Modern women are sharp, assertive, and used to testing men's composure. They've been conditioned to challenge, to poke, to push, because it quickly reveals who's solid and who's pretending. Most men don't even notice when it happens. She teases their opinion, laughs at their seriousness, questions their ambition, or mocks their intensity. And almost every man flinches. Some rush to defend themselves, scrambling to prove they were right. Others collapse into nervous laughter, agreeing with her just to escape the discomfort. Both responses destroy attraction. A Machiavellian man doesn't defend, and he doesn't fold. He redirects. He doesn't give her the battle she's trying to provoke. He dissolves it with composure. If she says, "That's arrogant," most men either argue or apologize. He smiles faintly and says, "Maybe." Or maybe you're just not used to someone who doesn't ask for permission to be himself. And then, without waiting for approval, he moves the conversation somewhere else entirely. This is what real frame control looks like. Not fighting for dominance, but refusing to surrender emotional ground. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't rush. He speaks as if her attempt to unbalance him was just another breeze passing through. And in that stillness, something shifts in her. She starts feeling what women rarely feel around men: safety inside tension. Machiavelli would call this commanding the frame. He taught that power isn't about crushing opposition, but redefining the terms so opposition becomes meaningless. The man who can stay calm while being tested becomes the emotional center of the room. So when she challenges you, don't explain yourself. Don't chase her understanding. Let her words land like pebbles on stone. Acknowledge them with warmth, then steer the conversation where you want it to go. She'll follow, not because you forced her, but because you showed her something rare: a man who bends reality around him, not the other way around. And once she feels that, her resistance quietly melts into trust. Build movies in her mind. Most men talk in cold facts. They speak like they're filing a report: what they do, what they like, where they've been. And while they think they're building connection, they're actually numbing her senses. Logic doesn't stir longing. Emotion does. A Machiavellian man doesn't try to impress her with data. He transports her. He speaks in images, not explanations. He doesn't say, "I became stronger after my breakup." He says, "I remember standing in an empty apartment at midnight, no furniture, just my breath fogging in the cold, and realizing if I wanted warmth again, I'd have to build it myself." In that moment, she's no longer evaluating you. She's feeling you. Her mirror neurons fire. Her breathing slows. Her eyes soften. Because you're no longer a stranger telling her about your life. You've become a world she can walk inside. This is how powerful men speak. Not to inform, but to immerse. They don't rush. They let the story breathe. They let silence wrap around key lines like velvet. They trust the space between words to do the heavy lifting. Machiavelli would call this seizing the imagination. He knew that once someone lives inside your vision, they stop resisting you. So craft a vault of stories from your life, moments of change, risk, pain, triumph. Tell them slowly, with gravity. Keep them raw, not polished. Because polish smells like performance. Rawness feels like truth. And when she steps into your world through your words, she will want to stay close enough to never be left outside of it again. Master the weapon of silence. Men fear silence. They see it as dead air, as failure, as rejection. So they panic and keep talking, piling words on words, hoping the noise will prove their worth. But noise is cheap. Silence is expensive. A Machiavellian man wields silence like a blade. He speaks, then lets his words breathe. He pauses mid-thought and lets her wonder what he was about to say. He gives half an answer and watches her lean forward, desperate to close the gap. This is how he flips the dynamic. Because now she's chasing the space he left open. Silence creates pressure. Pressure creates curiosity. Curiosity creates desire. Most men try to win her attention with effort. He wins it by holding still while she tries to decode him. Machiavelli would call this the art of measured absence. He taught that what is withheld gains value. The less of yourself you give away, the more she wants it. So when you speak, stop rushing to fill the quiet. Pause. Breathe. Let her eyes search yours. Let her imagination do the heavy lifting. Because once her mind starts racing to figure you out, she won't even notice the silence anymore. She'll only notice you. Make her qualify for your attention. Almost every man is starving for female approval. They hand it out instantly, showering her with compliments before she's even shown who she is. And the moment you give something freely, it loses its value. A Machiavellian man inverts this. He doesn't withhold validation out of coldness. He does it out of self-respect. He observes. He waits. He watches how she handles discomfort, how she responds to curiosity, how she reveals herself. And slowly, she starts wondering, am I impressing him? Or is he just being polite? This is where the shift happens. Now she's not passively receiving your attention. She's working to earn it. She tells her best stories. She leans closer. She laughs harder, because she feels the rare tension of being evaluated, not worshipped. Machiavelli would call this scarcity of privilege. He wrote that what is hard to win becomes deeply desired. So stop giving away your praise like candy. Save it for when she reveals depth. Reward character, not appearance. Because when she finally earns your approval, it will land like thunder. And from that moment, your words will carry more weight than every compliment she's heard from 100 other men combined. Upgrade her mind. This is the highest level of influence. Most men chase her body. A Machiavellian man elevates her mind. He asks questions no one else dares to ask. He notices contradictions she never saw in her own stories. He reflects her back to herself with calm curiosity, not criticism. And in that reflection, she starts to see herself more clearly. This is the paradox. The more she grows around you, the more she clings to you. Because she doesn't just enjoy your presence, she becomes addicted to who she is when she's with you. Machiavelli would call this refining the subject. He believed that true power wasn't controlling people's actions but reshaping how they think. So don't try to impress her. Make her think. Make her see herself differently. Make her leave every conversation with you a little more awake, a little more alive. Because once a woman associates you with growth, she won't risk losing you. You'll stop being someone she flirts with. You'll become someone she builds her life around. Take a moment and listen to the silence around you. Because what you just walked through is something most men will never touch. While they stay trapped in noise, chasing approval, throwing words into the air hoping something lands, you stepped into a different world. A quieter one, a stronger one, a world where you don't talk to be heard, you talk to change the atmosphere around you. No more explaining yourself. No more proving your worth. No more scrambling to be understood. Because you finally understand something deeper. You don't win her heart by convincing her. You win it by changing her world the moment you speak. And from this moment forward, every word you say will carry something far heavier than sound. It will carry presence. It will carry tension. It will carry the unmistakable calm of a man who doesn't chase, because he already knows he is the prize. She will feel it. Her breath will slow. Her thoughts will orbit around you like planets around the sun. And even if she walks away for a moment, her mind will stay with you. Because you are no longer just another man she met. You are the one she will compare every other man to. The one who moved differently. The one who spoke like silence belonged to him. The one who didn't need her to stay, for her to want to. This is what Machiavelli would have admired most. Not a man who takes power, but a man who becomes so still, so certain, so magnetic that power naturally comes to him. That is who you are now. So carry this forward, in your words, in your posture, in your stillness. Let every room you walk into feel it. Because from this day on, you are no longer waiting to be chosen. You have become the man she hopes will choose her, and quietly fears she might not deserve. Now go, speak less, move slower, stand taller, because you are not noise in the world. You are the gravity it moves around.